Hey, this is Michael. This is a little experiment I'm doing to see if I can take my sketches and feed them into Claude code so that I can give Claude the sketches that I create as a starting point for any design layouts instead of having it interpret my text direction and just sort of guess at what I want to do with layout. So the idea here is to take a a sort of structured sketch sheet, draw my interface sketches in there, and then scan it, and then feed it into Claude Code. So starting from beginning here, this is I've made sketch graph paper for a long time. This is a new version I'm making, and if the idea is to print it out, to sketch your UI in it, and then to take, get it into a computer. Um, Mac has a really easy way to do this by just right-clicking a folder and then selecting scan from iPhone. So that's what I'm doing here. And so here's a sketch that I made just to test it out. It's a landing page for a website. This is a 12 column grid, and there's a hero, global nav hero, and then some how to in the landing page. I'm just giving it a name. Unfortunately, I scanned it as PDF, but Claude wants PNG, so it's gonna convert it. So it's best to have your scan saved as a PNG when you import it from your phone. You can also use a webcam to do this, I guess. But easy enough to just use your phone and do that right click and then to drop it into your prompt. So I'm saying, look at the sketch and layout and make the homepage, lay out the homepage. And that's all I'm telling it to do. And it's basically it's going to read the sketch. And then, I didn't know if this would actually understand without instructions or without a skill that those notes and the metadata at the top are not part of the interface. But I was really surprised to find that, after it turned this thing into a PNG and then read it, it already knew what I wanted to do with it. Took the sketch that I scanned and then implemented it in this HTML page. This is just an Astro site with no content in it. So, I just used an Astro site so that I could see it rebuild. So it's going to go through this thing, create all the HTML, and then I'm going to go look at it. And um, I'm going to jump ahead. I recorded this video prior to doing the voiceover. So here you can see that it's putting in the HTML based on what it understands. There's even a note here. See, it says call to action off screen. Uh, so we'll see what it does. I've already seen what this does, but it knew what to do here. It it took the content inside the box and laid this all out as HTML. There's the hero on the top. Here's the sort of how it works section with the one, two, three. And then there's that bottom where it just said, call to action repeats here. So it took the view button from the top and put it down there. It even went so far as to lay out the little placeholder sketch that I had in the hero, which is, surprising. So we go back to the sketch. This is what that looks like. And obviously it ignored all the metadata and all the surrounding annotations and just built a sketch. I had these very specific things in the sketch paper there's a registration mark so it knows where the corners of page are when it scans it. Don't even think I need that. Yeah, I mean it's really simple. I have a couple different versions of this graph paper. The registration marks are in there. I might actually just pull those out. I don't think we even need that unless you're doing the scan from your phone. I may leave it in because you could be taking a scan into notes without doing this in real time like this, and that'll help you to align it with that. I can't remember what that's called, that keystone thing, where it figures out how to make it flat, even though your phone might be a little askew. Oh, here's a quick look at the grid that it laid out. So it figured out how to do, 6 columns out of a 12-column grid. And then it did something different at the top because I'm noticing that it's not 50% on the left, 50% on the right on the top. But at the bottom, in the how it works section, it actually it did this. If you see grid column 6/12, it did the grid properly. This is without using a framework. This is just doing straight CSS, not using like Tailwind or anything. So it works. I mean, I'm surprised that it works so as well without having any instructions or without creating a skill for it. So, you know, do with it what you will. But I'm going to create. I'm going to make a bunch of layouts of this sketch paper available as there's 2 portrait versions, one with the notes block that's portrait, and one portrait without the notes block, and then there's a landscape version. I would tend to use the portrait version. The landscape version has, I mean, that's if you're designing like a single screen web app, for instance, where there's no scroll. So the vertical version will let you, design like a vertical scrolling screen. So that's it for the first. This is the very first time this is the recording. I didn't do a voiceover when I recorded it. So this is the very first time I'm trying it, and I was thinking I would have to go actually perfect it with some kind of instructions. But I think this is a good lesson that you can just try things and see if it works first, and then you can improve it after that. Anyway, the papers are on canoeju.com. Thanks for watching.